Hello, and thank you for joining us in episode 1 of Two Guys, No Planners. I'm joined this morning/evening, whatever time zone you're in, by Urban Hafner, the mastermind behind FPC Inc. and my co-host for this endeavor. How you doing, Urban?
I'm doing fine, surprisingly well, as I got up at 5:30 for that show. But what don't you do for pens, right?
I know, right? These little pieces of plastic and metal making us do very weird things.
They do. Yeah.
So people are probably wondering, people that have heard us both on our other podcasts, what is Two Guys, No Planners?
That is a good question, and we don't really know either. We just decided to, I don't know, talk about pens, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think it's safe to say we're definitely going to be talking about pens. I guess for me, I came from a show with an average of 9 people per episode. And I want to actually be able to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with somebody week in, week out, well, every other week, and not have to spend 50 hours a week editing an episode about pens.
I mean, even 3 and 4 or 4 people like we do on FPC is sometimes challenging, but 8 or 9, that is crazy, actually.
See, now you know the pain I went through.
Not quite, but I can imagine at least.
So people know you primarily for FPC Inc., the website. When we had you on BYOB, wait, did we have you on BYOB or was it one of those jelly bean mode things?
One of the jelly beans.
Oh, okay. You talked more about your love affair for cheap Chinese pens.
Yes.
How's that going? I think you were in the process of collecting at least 6,000 or 7,000 of them.
So before my summer holiday, I came to the realization that 70 pens is maybe a bit too much. And then I gave a few away, sold a few, and well, then I went on a long holiday, came back maybe a week ago, and I have 2 new Chinese pens and 2 more are on the way. So I don't know. It is heading the same direction. I don't know. It's hard to stop buying those cheap ones, especially as I think they're actually getting better.
They look like they're getting better. I still have yet to try one.
Yeah. So the latest one is the Keiko Retro.
Mm-hmm.
Keiko, I think they're a big Chinese stationery brand, and this pen is sort of inspired by the Parker 51, but it finally someone made a nice cap for it, because that was the one thing I didn't like about the Parker 51. This metal cap on this cool looking plastic body. I don't know. It just looked weird to me. And here you are, a $10 Chinese pen that has a nice cap, takes standard international cartridges, comes even with 2 cartridges and a converter. So that is pretty cool.
Now, I mean, I've got a Fantasy Parker 51 courtesy of Nick Peng.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got to agree, the cap on it is definitely my least favorite feature of the entire pen.
Yeah, I don't know. It's such a nicely designed body. It looks really cool. And then you have this rather boring cap on it.
It's like, well, okay, we've got this hidden nib. We've got a sleek body that really just says, I'm kind of a modern design.
Yeah.
And then I agree with you. The cap is kind of a letdown. It's very easily misplaced as well.
Yeah.
I lost the cap for my Parker for about a week and a half. Yeah, I was cleaning pens and the cap disappeared, and I avoided Slack for that week because I didn't want to accidentally tell the world that I lost the cap to one of my pens.
Uh-huh. And where was it in the end?
So along with pens, I also have this bad habit of collecting shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly DC skater shoes. I love DCs. They're great. It was in the right shoe of a blue and black pair of DCs that I was in the process of cleaning for
Okay.
a upcoming job interview.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I went to go put them on for the job interview, and my toe hit something like cap shaped. And I was like, wait, this doesn't feel right. And I don't live in the desert anymore, so it's not a scorpion, so it must be something. And sure enough, there it was.
All right. So you know your pens well enough that even your feet know what a fountain pen cap feels like. Right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a creepy thing. Let's be honest here. So, okay, what pens did you sell off before you got right back into your little bit of a drug addiction there?
Well, a lot of the Chinese ones, of course. So many of the Pen BBS pens. A few went to Anna to Paris, and of course, some of them are just, I don't know, if you have a pen that costs like $3, you're not going to sell it. So I gave some of them away. Some of my Twispies, actually. So I had basically every color of the Eco. Now I'm down to 2, and that's only because the one I haven't sold yet. And yeah, I kept one Twispy Mini, and the others are gone as well. And yeah, I'm looking at selling some more, like my ultra extra fine and soft fine platinum 3776s. They're nice pens, but they are, I don't know. I seem to enjoy writing with something like a Pilot Kakunu more than with them. So what's the point in keeping them? So there will be another round of sell-off, I guess, so that I don't know, can buy more pens. I'm unsure.
Now, I'm looking at our show notes. Are the pens that you have listed there, are those the ones that you purchased or the ones that you sold?
Oh, those are only the ones that I'm purchasing. What that I'm selling.
Wait. Yeah. So what camera gear are you trading for the M120?
Some large format stuff I had lying around still. So film camera gear.
Ah, okay.
So like film holders, some 4x5 film, and development tank and stuff like that. Because that's the hobby I was into previously.
Yeah.
Film photography and all that stuff.
I keep telling myself I'm going to get the M120, and then I look at the pens that I was able to easily sell during my sell-off, and it was surprising. I really like Pelicans, but when I went through my sell-off a couple months ago, those were the first ones to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't own a Pelican at this point. I had an M200, really old one, that even said made in Western Germany. So it had to be like,
wow, that's old.
Really old. And then at some point it just, I don't know, the piston seal broke. And for a $20, 20 euro pen, it didn't really make sense to figure out how to repair it. And you can't unscrew the piston mechanism. So yeah. But I like the size. So if I could trade that, and I didn't have to sell all the other stuff. And yeah, that was a good deal, actually, I think.
I'm actually getting ready to post my last Pelican for sale tonight, probably.
All right. Which one?
The Pelican 381. It's the, how do I describe it? It's the really thin one. You can barely fit a converter in it. And I think that's part of the problem. I like pens that have a little bit more of a grip section, and I have tried my hardest to love that pen, and I just can't.
Yeah. Looking at your grip in your videos, I can see how that could be a problem, not work at all, right? Yeah.
And even then, the grip in my videos, I mean, what was it? The last video that I posted with the Pilot Custom 743, I switched grips, 6 times in that one writing sample. I don't know how I ever learned how to write, essentially. Let alone use these fountain pens.
Yeah, I mean, if it works now.
Well, hopefully it works. I mean, that does kind of shut me off to a few pens, though, like a Lamy 2000, because it has that whole sweet spot thing. I cannot use one because I keep rotating the pen too much, and then all of a sudden, it's just writing super dry and skipping everywhere, and it's because I rotated the pen like almost 180 degrees.
All right. You should use pencils. You always
Um,
have to rotate them. Then that's perfect. Perfect then.
my handwriting is so bad with a pencil. I've thought about it, but no, you wouldn't be able to read my handwriting at all.
All right.
Let's see. Where is it? Why is it not letting me paste? Wow. I'm trying to paste a link for you in the show document.
Well, modern technology.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's just going from Google Drive to Google Drive. Oh, user error. Maybe I need some more coffee. There you go. You may actually have to highlight the link and then paste it in. Yeah.
Ah, well,
Yep.
that's a cool picture.
Yep, it is. That's one of the pictures I'm using for the sale. So.
Yeah, you shouldn't have a problem there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, you've got your Chinese pen addiction. Me, I just have everything addictions. So like I've been given the opportunity to either A, acquire a good camera, like a mirrorless camera,
Mm-hmm.
or B, acquire a drone that does 4K at 60 frame per second video.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a decent camera in my phone. I already have a drone that does 1080.
Oh. All right. So did you get both?
Exactly. So in the back of my head, I'm sitting here going, can I make this happen?
Ah. All right. Cool.
Man, I'll tell you what, this is rather interesting. And you said I wouldn't be able to hear your, you said I would have a hard time understanding you.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. One of our first
Huh.
conversations.
Yeah, I mean, I'm German. We always say that our English is bad and no one can understand us. That's sort of, I don't know, national pride or something.
Well, let's just put it this way. Your English is better than quite a few of the people we got here.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go ahead and tell the people a little bit about something that's not quite as crazy as a little bit of a fountain pen addiction there. Aside from FPC Inc., what do you do?
I'm a software developer. So basically, whatever I do for FPC.inc, I also do at work. I mean, programming is not only my work; it is actually also my number one hobby, I guess. Fountain pens or whatever other hobby I have, they're always, I don't know, they're nice and fun, but essentially programming is what I do in my life at work, and as a hobby I read programming books for fun. And yeah.
You know, you may think I'm laughing, but I'm actually, the only reason I'm laughing is the fact that I am the exact same way with just reading everything I can about physics.
Huh.
Yeah, when I'm not doing podcasting stuff, I'm listening to physics audiobooks while I'm playing video games.
All right. Yeah, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't hear a word or remember anything.
I think the reason I was able to do it, and kind of why I was able to do stuff like BYOB and whatnot, is I got really good at just dividing my mind in half. So one ear will be what I'm focusing on. So like when I go to edit this podcast, I'll have one ear of my headphones on listening to the podcasts. And then in my other ear, I'll have my headphones, and I'll have the headphones at about 25% of the volume of what I'm working on. So just loud enough that I can hear it and comprehend it, but not too loud that it takes away from my work.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, I think we've actually got a good start for our first episode, because I'm thinking one thing you and I talked about when we were first thinking about this project. I do another show called Philosophical.
Yeah.
And on that show, those episodes are what, 13, 14 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And yet we get quite a bit of stuff in there. And when you approached me for a show, the biggest concern you had, what was the biggest concern? Finding the time to do it because of the time zones?
Yeah, basically.
And I was like, well, why don't we do something that's kind of like a mix of Pen Addict and Philosophical, just something that's quick and talks about pens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of works out. So for those listening, I think that's what we're going to do. Just a little quick digest of what we've been up to the last 2 weeks when it comes to fountain pens.
Exactly.
And anything else coming up that may excite us. So let's go ahead and sign off for the night. But before we do, where can they find you, Urban?
They can find me. Best is Instagram, Urban Hafner. I occasionally am also on Twitter as UJH. And of course, you can find me as user1 on FPC, the website. Where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Inktwell. They can also find me at floor3media.com/the Yvgenii.com or theinktwell.com, which actually just redirects to my YouTube channel. And they can also find you on Patreon now, can't they?
Yes, they can also find me on Patreon and support me with money for fpc.inc, the website. And to those 5 people that have already backed, thank you so much. That's highly appreciated.
And FPC is a good site. I created a user account a long time ago, and I kind of forgot my login information. So once I go through and recover it, then I can start using it again. Because now I've actually got enough inks that I need to start cataloging them.
Yeah, at some point you can't remember everything you have anymore.
That's true. Man, I went from having 15 inks to 50, and all I had to do was start a YouTube channel.